Good day, sir. We are the Group 7 and this is our report. Let's first introduce our 5 learning outcomes. Recognize the value of environmental ethics, especially the contemporary era. Number 2, understand the position of animal rights activities and their philosophy. And the third one is discuss the biocentric outlook and the nature of compare, differentiate it from the land ethic. 4. Trace the philosophical foundations of illogical problems like climate change. And the last one is understand what it means to be dweller in nature. So let's proceed to our main topic. Environmental ethics. So, environmental ethics is a branch of philosophy exploring humanity's moral relationship with the environmental and the ethics status of non-human entities. So, the Earth is very old, about 4.6 billion years. But humans have only been around for a short time. If we imagine Earth history as 46 years, humans have only been 4 hours. In that short time, especially since the Industrial Revolution, people have harmed the planet a lot. We have used too many natural resources, made many kinds of plants and animals, disappear and polluted the land, air and water. Because of this, the Earth is getting hotter and animals are acting differently. If we keep living this way, we could seriously hurt the planet and other self in the future. In South and Central America, large areas of land are being cleared to raise cattle. For a cheap beef of the West, NASA reports that 16 of the 17 warmest years on the Earth have occurred since 2001. This rise in temperature is melting the polar ice caps and disrupting weather, making it harder for scientists to predict natural disasters like hurricanes, making it the world could become so hot that even walking outside could be dangerous. By 2100, so in this second paragraph, by 2100, the global population is expected to nearly triple. Technology has made life easier and longer, but people are consuming more without knowing why. The desire to have things is longer about needing them, but just about wanting more. As consumption grows, so does production, putting more strain and environmental.
Being pushed to its limits because people keep demanding more things. Many people think ethics is only about how to treat each other, but we forgot that our relationship with nature is just as important. Without a healthy environment, human life and relationship won't even be possible. If you ignore our responsibility to take care of nature's are also ignoring our duty to other people. This section talks about our moral responsibility to the natural world. It starts with how to treat animals and then expands to all living things and the land. It helps as we face more natural disaster caused by our actions. It is more important than ever to live in a way that respect and protect nature. The big questions: do what have a moral duty to care for the environment? Is a part of the planet mentally responsible for the process by which plants make the food. It consists of several parts that each play a specific role of the leaf blade of the broad of plate part that captures sunlight running through the center and which provides structural support and contains vascular tissues from similar branches are a network that transports water, minerals, and the stock that drift to the stem and allows the flow and substance to and from the leaf. This
In the 1950s and 1960s, when people heard nuclear war, a book called Silent Spring by Raquel Carson helped start a conversation on environmental ethics. The book warned about the dangers of using harmful chemicals like pesticides, which were poisoning animals and harming the environment. Carson work made people more aware of how human action affect nature and push ecology into public discussion. She warned that if we keep going down the easy path of harming nature, it could lead to disaster. But there's still time to choose a better way. The passage also introduced environmental thinkers like Peter Singer and Tom Regan, who focus on the ethical treatment of animals. Singer not used just for human benefit. He compared this unfair treatment of animals to other forms of discrimination. These thinkers help expand the idea of ethics beyond human to include animals and nature. Singer talk about something called speciesism, which is when people treat animals unless important just because they're not human. Many people believe it's okay to treat animals poorly, like using them, them for food or experiment, because they are not as intelligent as humans. But Singer argues that this logic does not make sense. If intelligence is only reason to treat being with respect, then it would also be okay to experiment on babies or people with brain damage, which no is wrong.
Singer argues that causing pain to any being that can suffer, human or animal, is morally wrong, which is why he emphasizes things like animal experimentation. His view is based on a utilitarianism focusing on reducing suffering. Tom Morgan, on the other hand, takes a rights-based approach. He believes some animals have rights not because they're rational, but because they are subject of a life. They have memories, emotions, desires, a sense of the future, and their own experiences. Because of this, Regan says it's wrong to use animals to experiments, sport, or farming. Both thinkers agree that humans shouldn't harm animals just because they can.
According to Paul Taylor, humans are not more important than living beings. We're just one part of Earth's community of life. Like plants and animals, we are biological creatures that depend on the same natural process. In fact, many life forms existed before humans. Yet we act as if nature exists just for us. Taylor argues that we rely on plants, animals to survive. But they don't rely on us. This view, called biocentrism, challenges the idea that humans are most important species. So Taylor believes that all living things have their own well-being or welfare interest, even if they aren't conscious, so we should treat them with moral concern. For example, even if bulldozing tree roots doesn't affect pain, it still harms the trees, because it stops them from thriving So all living organisms deserve respect and should be included in ethical decision making. Moving on, biocentrism argues that humans are not superior to the other species and that all living beings deserve equal moral respect. It is based on human abilities, like doing algebra, is unfair because different beings have different skills suited to their survival. Just as tree climbing is more useful to monkey than solving math. So, Paul Taylor supports this view of equal value among all life forms. So moving on to Robin Atfield, however, offers a different take. He believes living things have value, but some, like humans or person, may have more value than others. This is hierarchical approach rather than Taylor's equal one.
Aldo Leopold, in contrast to both, focuses not on the individual beings but on the entire ecosystem, which he calls the biotic community. He sees something is right if protect the sustainability, beauty, and health of the whole system. For example, removing the invasive species that harms the land may be necessary to protect the greater good of the ecosystem. Leopold believes humans are not rulers of nature but members of the larger living system. And to care for it properly, we must be developed not just logic but emotional connections and ecological conscience. He sees the land as the living network where the energy flows through plant, animals, and people, sustaining all life together.
Go.
Special topic of ethics. Climate change continues to worsen despite global efforts like the Kyoto and Montreal protocols, which aims to reduce pollution and protect endangered species. Experts warn that global warming must stay below 2 degrees Celsius to avoid serious harm to ecosystem and shown by disaster like Typhoon Undoy and Yolanda. Philosopher Ernesto Kuhak believes the crisis is not just scientific but also philosophical. Humans have lost their connection with nature and no longer live wisely or ethically on Earth. The scenario. Imagine a forest ecosystem is struggling with the infestation of emerald ash borers, an invasive species that kills us trees. As the trees are a keystone species in this forest, providing habitat and food for many other organisms.
He argues that we must see ourselves as responsible builders living in harmony with the environment. However, a modern society is defined by overconceptions, always waiting more, which Aristotle called ponionics. Harmony desire for endless complication. This mindset is unsustainable and threaten but the future of humanity and the planet's declare balance. Continue burning of forests, deforestation have rise global temperatures, leading to more extreme weather, rising sea levels, and which spread damage to ecosystem. To achieve through sustainability, we must consider the long-term impact of our action of the environment.